In 2010, Netflix added something strange to its catalog. Not a movie, not a show, a fireplace. One continuous shot of logs burning. It was called Fireplace for Your Home, and a real director made it. He auditioned the wood, chose the most photogenic logs, filmed take after take until the flames looked just right. It sounds like a joke. It became one of the most watched things on the platform every single winter. Then came the sequels, a Birchwood edition, a 4K remaster, a fire. And YouTube is worse. Right now, at this exact moment, millions of people have a 10-hour video of a burning fireplace playing on their TV. No plot, no music, no talking, logs. Here's the strange part, it works. You put it on and something in your chest quietly unclenches. Think about your own life for a second. The campfire you couldn't look away from, even when the conversation died. The candlelit dinner that somehow made the whole night feel warmer. The way everyone at a barbecue slowly gathers around the grill and just stares into it silently, like it's showing the news, nobody taught you to do this. No one sat you down as a kid and said, fire is relaxing, please stare at it. You just do. Every human does, on every continent, in every culture that has ever existed. So why does staring at fire feel so good? The first clue is that scientists have actually measured it, and the numbers are stranger than you'd expect. In 2014, an anthropologist at the University of Alabama named Christopher Lynn ran an experiment that sounds almost too simple to publish. He sat more than 200 people in front of a video of a fireplace and tracked their blood pressure. Not a real fire, no heat, no smell, no danger. A video on a screen of wood burning. But Lynn was careful. Some people got the fire with its crackling sound, some got the same flames, muted. Some got a control condition, no fire at all, and the results split cleanly. Watching the fire with sound, blood pressure dropped, around 5% on average. The longer people watched, the further it fell. Muted, the effect mostly collapsed. The picture alone wasn't enough. The crackle mattered. Sit with that for a second. A looping video of burning wood or fire, a fire that can't warm you, can't cook anything, can't protect you from anything, physically calmed the human body, measurably. Like a mild dose of relaxation, on demand, through a screen. Your nervous system is responding to something that isn't even there, which means the response isn't coming from the fire, it's coming from you, from something very, very old inside you. And to find it, you have to go back about 1 million years. In South Africa, there's a cave called Wonderwork. Deep inside it, 30 meters from the entrance, further than any lightning strike or wildfire could ever reach, researchers found layers of ash, burned grass, charred fragments of bone, dated to roughly 1 million years ago. Read that again. 1 million years. That's not modern humans. Your species is only about 300,000 years old. Whoever carried fire into that cave, whoever fed it and kept it alive in the dark, wasn't even fully human yet. There are sites in Kenya that might push the date back even further, closer to 1.5 million years. Scientists still argue about those, but the point stands. Fire isn't something humanity invented. Fire is older than humanity. Your species was born next to it. And according to one Harvard biologist, that's not a coincidence. It's the reason your species exists at all. Richard Wrangham spent years studying wild chimpanzees, and one thing about them always stood out. They never stopped chewing. Raw food is brutal work. A chimp spends around 6 hours a day just grinding leaves and raw fruit into something it can swallow. 6 hours. Chewing is basically a part-time job. Now look at what's inside your skull. Your brain is about 2% of your body weight, and it burns 20% of your energy. It is, by far, the most expensive thing you own. Evolution doesn't hand out organs like that for free. Something had to pay for it. Wrangham's answer, cooking. Fire is like a second stomach that sits outside your body. It breaks down food before you eat it, pre-digests it. So a cooked meal delivers far more energy for a fraction of the chewing. When your ancestors started cooking, meals that took hours took minutes. The giant gut needed for raw food could shrink. And all that freed up energy went upstairs into a bigger, hungrier, more expensive brain, smaller jaws, smaller teeth, bigger skull, it's written right there in the fossils. So the brain you're using to watch this video right now was paid for by fire. You are, in the most literal way possible, fire's child. But cooking is only half the story. Because fire didn't just change what your ancestors ate, it changed what night meant. Picture their world after sunset. No walls, no locks, no lights. Darkness on the savannah was when the predators came out, and human eyes are nearly useless in the dark. Lions can see you. You cannot see them. For most of your species' history, night wasn't bedtime. Night was the dangerous shift, except in one place, the circle of firelight. Predators avoid flames. Inside that flickering orange bubble, there was warmth, light, cooked food, and other people. Outside it, everything with teeth. For hundreds of thousands of years, the glow of a fire was the only place on Earth where a human being could truly stand down. Now think about what that does to a nervous system over thousands of generations. The people who could genuinely relax by the fire, let their guard drop, digest, bond, sleep deeply, recharged better, and survived. Night after night, the same lesson got burned into the wiring, deeper than memory, deeper than culture. Flames flickering nearby means you are safe now. You still run that code. That's what Christopher Lynn was measuring in his lab. Your blood pressure doesn't drop because fire is pretty. It drops because somewhere below, conscious thought and ancient system sees the flames, hears the crackle, and whispers, "The fire is lit. You made it through another day." And then inside that circle of light, something else happened. Something that might matter even more than safety. That same year, 2014, an anthropologist named Polly Wisner published a study that answers a question you've probably never thought to ask. What did humans talk about before there was anything to watch? Wisner had spent decades with the Yu-Huansi people of the Kalahari Desert, one of the last groups on Earth still living close to the old hunter-gatherer ways. Since the 1970s, she'd been recording their conversations, day versus night. When she finally ran the numbers, they split like a light switch. Daytime talk was business, food, plans, complaints, who did what to whom, gossip, criticism, the accounting of village life, stories, barely 6%. But at night, around the fire, everything flipped. Roughly 80% of firelight conversation was stories, myths, hunting adventures from long ago, people far away, the dead, the spirit world. The day's sharp edges melted and the talk drifted from what is to what if. Think about what that means. The fire extended the human day, and in those extra, safe golden hours, it changed the channel in the human mind. Daylight was for surviving. Firelight was for imagining. Some researchers believe this is where storytelling itself was born, and with it, shared memory, shared gods, the ability of 100 strangers to believe one tale. Around the flames, which would make fire humanity's first screen. Seriously, look at the setup. A dark room, a flickering glow, faces gathered in a circle, all turned toward the light, watching stories until they fall asleep. That's a campfire. It's also every movie night in history. When you binge a series in a dark room tonight, you're not doing something new. You're doing the oldest thing there is with better special effects. But there's still one piece missing. Safety explains why fire calms you. It doesn't explain why you can't look away. Plenty of safe things are just boring. Fire isn't. Why? Watch a flame closely and you'll notice something. It never repeats. It sways, jumps, splits, snaps, constantly moving, completely unpredictable, and completely harmless. That exact combination is a neurological trick. Your threat detection system is obsessed with movement. It has to track sudden changes. That reflex kept your ancestors alive, so the flame grabs it. Motion, change, watch this. But then, nothing bad ever happens. No pounce, no threat, ever. So your vigilant system gets fully occupied at zero cost. Attention researchers call this soft fascination. The same gentle grip you feel watching waves, rain on a window, snow falling. Effortless attention. White noise for the eyes. And here's the part that matters. While the flame keeps your alarm system busy, the loudest thing in your skull, that inner voice replaying today's mistakes and rehearsing tomorrow's disasters, finally loses its audience and goes quiet. People pay for meditation apps to get 10 seconds of that. Fire does it automatically. In fact, humans figured this out thousands of years ago. In yoga, there's an ancient practice called tritaka. You sit and you stare at a candle flame. That's it. That's the whole technique. It survived for millennia because it works. And it works because it's not really a technique at all. It's a homecoming, which brings us to the modern problem. You live in the first generation out of roughly 50,000 generations that took the fire out of daily life. Think how fast it happened. 1,000,000 years of flames every single night. And then the light bulb barely a century ago. The hearth became a radiator. The cooking fire became a stove, then a microwave that beeps. The campfire circle became 5 people on one couch, each staring into a separate little glow that never crackles. And yet, look at how you behave. Candlelight instantly turns a dinner into an occasion. Same food, same table, one small flame, different night. A fireplace raises the price of a house even in cities where nobody needs the heat. You put fire on birthday cakes and make wishes over it. Nations guard eternal flames. The Olympics begin by carrying one. And when the pandemic locked everyone at home, one of the first things people did was buy fire pits for their backyards. You've spent 100 years removing fire from your life, and the whole time quietly buying back little pieces of it. Lava lamps, aquariums, rain videos, 10-hour fireplace loops in 4K. Your body never signed off on the light switch. So here's something worth actually trying. Tonight, when your head is spinning and your thumb is reaching for the feed, the bright, fast screen that demands reactions, the one that winds you up, try the other screen instead. The original one. Light a candle. Put it a meter away. Give it 10 minutes. That's the dose in Lynn's data. There's no technique to learn, no app to download, no subscription. Your blood pressure will do the rest on its own. Because out of every meditation humanity has ever invented, this is the one that came pre-installed. And those millions of people watching logs burn on Netflix, they were never wasting time. They're performing the oldest human ritual there is in the newest possible way, gathering around a fire that happens to be made of pixels, feeling their shoulders drop for reasons written 1,000,000 years before words. Your species spent 1,000,000 years watching the flames. You've only had the remote control, for one,